Echoes of Solitude, Part 3. A cozy morning at Naomi's apartment. The sunlight filters through the curtains as she sits by the window with a cup of coffee, lost in thought. In this moment of stillness, Naomi understands that the journey is not just about finding love, but about finding herself in the process. Naomi's soft ambient light fills the room as she sits with her journal, sipping coffee. In the stillness of this quiet morning, Naomi realized that the path she'd walked had led her not only to love, but to a deeper understanding of herself. She was ready for the next chapter, not because it was a necessity, but because it felt like a choice. There's a sense of peaceful solitude, but also a quiet anticipation for the future. She reflects on how much has changed since she first began her journey of healing. Naomi writes in her journal, pausing occasionally to look out the window. Her thoughts reflect on her growth, how she's learned to trust herself, her independence, and the idea of shared love. The way she smiles when recalling her time with Daniel. Naomi and Daniel went to a small bookstore, picking out books for each other. There's a sense of shared curiosity and ease between them. The more she shared her world with Daniel, the more she realized they were building something unique, something that honored both their individual dreams and their shared future. As they walk between aisles, each suggesting books to the other, revealing bits about their personalities and interests. As their lives entwined, Naomi realized that it was the small moments, like these shared hours in a bookstore, that mattered most. They weren't rushing toward a destination, but savoring every step along the way. While picking out books for each other, they teased about each other's tastes in literature. Naomi picks a book that reminds her of her past, and Daniel notices a subtle moment of vulnerability. They stop for coffee afterward and discuss their favorite authors, giving each other a deeper insight into their thoughts and values. At sunset, Naomi and Daniel visit a peaceful park. They walk slowly, the golden hour light enveloping them. They share a conversation about their past relationships and their personal philosophies on love. There's a mix of lightness and depth in their conversation. They spoke of past wounds and future dreams, of where they had been and where they hoped to go. It was a dance of vulnerability and hope, two people discovering each other without fear. The conversation takes a slightly deeper turn as they both admit to their insecurities about love, Naomi's fear of losing herself, Daniel's past emotional scars. This builds trust between them. They pause for a moment to look around the park, noticing the life around them, families, children, older couples, and wondering what kind of future they'll have together. Naomi alone in her apartment, sitting at her desk, the evening light casting long shadows. She revisits her journal, looking back at past entries. Naomi realized that love, in all its beauty, was not about losing herself. It was about creating space for both of them to grow, side by side, as two whole people, with their own paths yet intertwined. Naomi reads from her past journal entries, promises she made to herself about independence, about self-worth. She acknowledges the fears she once had, but sees how they've shifted. There's a quiet moment of release. Naomi realizes she no longer has to choose between independence and love. She can have both. The next day, Naomi and Daniel take a walk on a scenic trail, holding hands, walking in comfortable silence. They're in no rush, simply enjoying the connection they've built. They were no longer two people seeking answers, but two people who had found something far more important, a connection that was as deep as it was free. Naomi and Daniel stopping to take in the scenery, sharing a quiet moment of connection as the sun dips below the horizon. Naomi feels at ease, like a chapter of her life has opened, the chapter where she finally allows herself to be fully loved. Naomi and Daniel at dawn stand together, looking out over the vast landscape, symbolic of their shared future. As Naomi stood there, side by side with Daniel, she understood. Love had not been the end of her journey, but the beginning of something new, a space where she could continue to evolve, supported by someone who truly understood her. Naomi and Daniel, while gazing out into the distance. They don't need words. Their connection is enough. Naomi is no longer worried about losing herself in love. Instead, she's embracing the idea that true love means growing together. Naomi and Daniel at her home, enjoying a quiet moment together. They share an intimate gesture, confirming that their love is real and enduring. They had discovered that love was not a destination, but a journey that would continue, full of growth, discovery, and endless possibilities. Together, they were ready for whatever came next. This marks the end of Naomi's story, a journey of self-discovery, courage, and love. She rose within, embraced her strength, and found that love was not a destination, but a journey. Together with Daniel, she stepped into a future full of growth, discovery, and endless possibilities. The story of rising within continues, for all who seek it.